Hi, I'm Melanie Gable, and this is my daughter Clara, and I'm here to review the new live-action movie from Walt Disney Studios called Christopher Robin. This movie follows the adult life of Christopher Robin as he reconnects with his friends from the 100-Acre Wood, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, Eeyore, Owl, and Rabbit. So let's get into it. So this is a family-friendly movie. It's rated PG. However, I would not recommend bringing toddlers like this one because it's a more slow-moving, gentle, heartwarming story. There's not a lot of action, so the little ones may lose their attention, but older kids should enjoy it, especially if they're Winnie the Pooh fans. So just make sure you bring the older kids rather than the toddlers. So the movie starts out with Christopher Robin as a child playing with his friends in the 100-Acre Wood, and we sort of get to know the characters as they're envisioned in this movie. They're slightly different. They're a little more well-loved. They look like they've been dropped in the mud a few times. It's really cute how they are, how they're animated to really feel like actual children's toys, and the animation is really seamless. It really feels like they're part of the scene. So we start out and they are having a goodbye party for Christopher Robin, who's going off to boarding school. The movie then jumps ahead in time where we see Christopher Robin as an adult. So we see him get married, go off to fight in World War II, become a father, and start his job with a luggage company. Now this is where the plot really kicks in. So Christopher Robin is having a dilemma, trying to balance his work life with his family life. He's being overworked, he's been given a lot of extra work, and he's been told to cut costs. So he has to spend a weekend working when he had promised to take his wife and daughter to a cottage in the countryside, his old childhood cottage. So that's where the conflict comes in. This is kind of the last straw for the family, and there's really a rift in the family over this one weekend. So what it comes down to is that Christopher Robin decides to stay and work for the weekend, and his wife and daughter go off to the cottage. Now, through a little bit of Disney magic, Winnie the Pooh comes back into his life, and there are sort of misadventures. Pooh can't find the rest of his friends, and Christopher Robin has been tasked with helping him. Now, Christopher Robin has Pooh in his house. Pooh is creating havoc, so he feels like the only way to get his life under control at the moment is to help Pooh find his friends. Now, Pooh Bear is alive. All of the friends are alive. Actually, other people can see them, not just Christopher Robin, so other people see them talk, and it creates a lot of comedic moments throughout the movie when other people happen to spot them talking or spot them moving around. It creates a lot of funny moments. So Christopher Robin really has his hands full with this task. So he goes back and he tries to help Pooh find his friends in the 100-Acre Wood, and in the process he starts learning how to play and how to reconnect with his own childhood. So without giving away too much more about the plot, suffice it to say, the 100-Acre Wood friends end up in London and hijinks ensue. But this is really a story about Christopher Robin and his family and how he reconnects to his family. So now I'd like to talk about the production elements. This was a very well-made, beautifully shot movie. The director is Mark Forster, who also directed Finding Neverland, and this movie kind of has a similar vibe. It's beautifully shot, the cinematography is gorgeous, and the animation is so great. I loved how the different characters were animated, and they really worked seamlessly into the scenes. I didn't really feel like they were separate. I felt like they were actually in the scene with the actors. You can even see little tufts of fabric on the felt arms of the animals, and you could see little wear and tear on their fabric where they had been well loved. It was really beautiful. I really wanted to just hug all of them. So Disney, take my money, I want stuffed animals of all of these characters. But the animation was just beautiful. I loved how the characters looked and were designed to be so well loved and so lifelike. The acting in this movie was great. I thought Ewan McGregor was a great, interesting choice for Christopher Robin. Hayley Atwell was good as his wife, Evelyn. I would have liked a little bit more from that character. It's kind of a cliche to kind of have the wife that's angry that her husband is working too much and not spending enough time with the family. So I would have liked maybe that to have been fleshed out a little bit more, but I felt like overall it was a good character, and I think that Hayley Atwell did a good job bringing a lot of personality to that role. I think that Bronte Carmichael as their daughter Madeline was very charming. She wasn't trying to be cute. She was just very genuine and heartfelt, and I really liked her performance. And the voice actors were excellent. Jim Cummings was wonderful as Winnie the Pooh and also Tigger. I think his take on Winnie the Pooh was so endearing, and Pooh kind of felt like he had grown up a little bit. He was a little slower, maybe, even though he's a bear of very little brain, maybe even a little wiser. And I really enjoyed his performances in both of those roles. Tigger was charming as usual, and Brad Garrett almost walked away with the movie, I thought, with his performance as Eeyore. He was actually really hilarious as Eeyore, in a subtle way. He still had Eeyore's characteristic gloominess and dourness, but he gave it such great comedic timing. I really enjoyed his performance. I also thought the production design of the movie was wonderful. I thought the costumes, the sets, everything worked beautifully. It's a period piece taking place in the 40s, and it definitely had all of that down. It was very gorgeous to look at, and this is a very well-made movie. Would I recommend it? I would definitely recommend it to families, and actually I would recommend it for adults. If you want to go on a date night and kind of see an alternative to some of the blockbuster summer movies, this is a really nice alternative to that. It's a gentle, more heartwarming story, and it's kind of a palate cleanser for all of the action that is typical in the theater for summer movies. So I'd highly recommend you see it. Just remember, it's a little advanced for the youngest ones. And hello, my daughter is back. I hope you all enjoyed my review for Christopher Robin. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. And Christopher Robin opens on August 3rd, so I hope you're able to go see the movie and enjoy it and have a great time and reconnect with our 100 Acre Wood friends. I certainly enjoyed myself doing that. Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye.